Okay, so today we're gonna look at how to process vocals in a mix, and especially rock vocals, metal vocals, heavy vocals in general. For this one, you get something for free at the end of this video. You can also right now just look in the description if you're just here for that. So let's get right into it. We have a little recording snippet of my voice with this microphone, which is an SM7B, and let's take a listen.
Sound check.
And now in context.
Sound check.
Right now, this recording is 100% raw and there's nothing added, and we need to process it to make it fit in a mix. So let's start with EQ. And for this one, I added high end and upper mid range. That's because not only do I have a voice which benefits from that, but also because this microphone tends to be dark. So it's usually a good idea to add brightness to a dark microphone to make it fit better. Let's go to the next step. We're doing procedural compression. And what I mean by that is we're doing a lot of compression. And this is because in the real world, when someone is screaming and you want to hear aggression, you hear every nuance, every detail. You hear him screaming in your face. You hear the pronunciations, you hear the consonants a lot. You hear the plosives. And to get this kind of aggression, you need to compress the vocal a lot. And usually this is done by dialing a slower attack time, which lets the consonants and start of words through. So every start of a word is way more intense than it should be in the real recording, which is kind of bigger than life effect. Let's take a listen.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check.
If you listen to the start of the words and the consonants especially, they get very aggressive. And also, this is kind of the first thing we have to correct, is because of this, the S's get a lot more harsh, a lot more in your face. And maybe that's a little bit too much, so let's try to de-ess them. And for that, I built a de-esser inside of Ableton Live. It's relatively simple, just follow along. We have two chains in an audio effect rack. The first chain is just a blank EQ8 with one band controlled. And one band is controlled by an envelope follower in the other chain, which is muted, by the way. We don't hear it. But it's just passing through the high end. So the envelope follower only hears the high end and controls our high band. And we can just now decide how much control of the high end S's we like. So let's take a look and listen.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check. Sound check.
Somewhere around here. Sounds fine to me. So, to the next step. And for this one, we're adding aggression again. And for especially these type of vocals, which are screams and gutturals, you want a lot of aggression. And you can get away with using a lot of distortion to make them sound very aggressive. Let's take a listen with this example.
Sound check. Sound check. Sound check.
It gets way more aggressive with this kind of effect. Now to the two last effects. First, we have a limiter, which is basically my last layer of compression to keep everything within boundaries and do a little bit of leveling. And after that, we have a delay, which is without feedback. It's very short and very little. So it's just to get a little bit of a room effect for the screams to sit better in a mix, but without the disadvantages you would get from a reverb. Because with a reverb, you get cloudy spaces and everything can get muddy pretty fast. And I tend to use more delays than reverb because of that. That way the vocal stays upfront and aggressive. And by the way, it's also how it's done in pop music. So they also know what they're doing. So now that we have every step along the way, let's just listen to it in the context of a mix again.
Sound check. Sound check.
All right, much better, I think. But these are a lot of steps with a lot of work and a lot of tweaking, and this can get annoying if you have like 20 stacks, 100 stacks of vocal layers, and maybe that's also way too tiring for just recording a demo or something. So I prepared a little something for you to just download, which is a chain that contains everything we just talked about and more. And you can tweak everything. And everything is at your fingertips. So let's take a look. Here's a snapshot, which I dialed for this kind of microphone for screams. Let's just use it. Press play and listen.
Sound check. Sound check.
I think this sounds very close to finish, which is amazing. And you can just download it. Link is in the description. Please review it. See ya.